Hello, future doctors. Welcome to Synapse, your ultimate NEET preparation platform. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of biomolecules, specifically focusing on carbohydrates. These are the unsung heroes powering your very existence. We'll start with the basics, move through intermediate concepts, tackle advanced topics, and finally, conquer the competitive depth required for NEET. Get ready for an exciting journey. Let's kick things off with the easy stuff. What are carbohydrates, and why are they so important for us? Carbohydrates are fundamental organic molecules essentially made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Think of them as hydrated carbons, often represented by the general formula CHON. They're commonly known as sugars or saccharides and are ubiquitous in all living organisms, from the smallest bacteria to the largest whales. Their primary and most crucial role is to serve as the main energy source for our bodies, fueling every cellular process. When our cells break down carbohydrates, they release the energy needed for everything you do, from thinking to running. We can broadly categorize carbohydrates into simple and complex types. Simple carbohydrates are small molecules that are quickly digested, providing a rapid burst of energy. Examples include glucose, which is the direct fuel for your cells, fructose found in fruits, and sucrose, your everyday table sugar. On the other hand, complex carbohydrates are larger, intricate molecules that take longer to break down. This means they release energy slowly and steadily, offering sustained power. Think of starch found in potatoes and rice, or glycogen, which is how animals store excess glucose in their bodies. Both types are vital for your diet. Time to test your understanding. Here are 3 quick questions. First, what is the general formula for carbohydrates? Second, can you name 2 common simple carbohydrates? And third, which type of carbohydrate, simple or complex, provides you with sustained energy? Take a moment to think about your answers. Great job on the easy level. Now, let's step it up a notch and explore carbohydrates in more detail, understanding their fundamental building blocks. At the heart of carbohydrates are monosaccharides, the simplest sugar units that cannot be broken down further. These single sugar molecules typically have 3 to 7 carbon atoms and are characterized by either an aldehyde group, making them aldoses like glucose and galactose, or a ketone group, making them ketoses like fructose. Glucose, an aldohexose, is your body's preferred energy source. Fructose, a ketohex, is sweet and found in fruits, while galactose, another aldohexose, is a component of milk sugar. Understanding these basic units is key to grasping larger carbohydrate structures. Moving up, we have disaccharides, which are formed when 2 monosaccharide units link together. This connection happens through a special covalent bond called a glycosidic bond, formed by a dehydration reaction, where a molecule of water is removed. Common examples include sucrose, your table sugar, which is a combination of glucose and fructose. Lactose, the sugar found in milk, is made of glucose and galactose. And maltose, often called malt sugar, consists of 2 glucose units. Each of these disaccharides plays a distinct role in our diet and biology, with varying sweetness and digestibility. Finally, we encounter polysaccharides, which are long, complex chains made of many monosaccharide units joined together. These macromolecules primarily serve 2 critical functions: energy storage and structural support. For energy storage, plants use starch, composed of amylose and amylopectin, while animals store glucose as glycogen, mainly in the liver and muscles. For structural roles, cellulose forms the rigid cell walls of plants, providing them strength and support. Another structural polysaccharide is chitin, which forms the exoskeletons of insects and crustaceans, and is also found in fungal cell walls. These diverse forms highlight the versatility of carbohydrates. Alright, let's solidify your understanding with 5 medium-level questions. First, What type of bond links to monosaccharides? Second, give an example of an aldohexose and a ketohex. Third, what is the primary function of starch and glycogen? Fourth, name the monosaccharide units that form lactose. And finally, which polysaccharide is a major component of plant cell walls? Take your time to recall the details we just discussed. Excellent work! You're ready to tackle the hard concepts. Let's dive deeper into the chemical nuances and functional distinctions of carbohydrates. One crucial distinction in carbohydrate chemistry is between reducing and non-reducing sugars. Reducing sugars poses a free anomeric carbon, which means they have a reactive aldehyde or ketone group that can be oxidized, for instance, by reducing Benedict's reagent. All monosaccharides like glucose and fructose are reducing sugars. Most disaccharides, such as lactose and maltose, are also reducing. However, sucrose stands out as a non-reducing sugar because its anomeric carbons from both glucose and fructose are involved in forming the glycosidic bond, leaving no free aldehyde or ketone group to react. This difference impacts their chemical reactivity and detection methods. Glycosidic bonds, the links between sugar units, come into main configurations, alpha, alpha, and beta, beta. This orientation is determined by the position of the O group on the anomeric carbon relative to the CHO group. An alpha bond forms when the O is on the opposite side, or down, from the CHO, as seen in starch and glycogen. These are easily digested by human enzymes. A beta bond forms when the O is on the same side, or up, from the CHO, like in cellulose and chitin. Human enzymes generally cannot break beta-glycosidic bonds, which is why we can't digest cellulose. This seemingly small structural difference has profound biological implications for energy utilization and structural integrity. Monosaccharides exhibit fascinating stereoisomerism due to their chiral centers. D and L forms are enantiomers, mirror images, determined by the O group's position on the chiral carbon furthest from the carbonyl. D sugars are predominant in nature. Epimers are stereoisomers that differ in configuration at only one chiral carbon. For instance, glucose and galactose are C4 epimers. Anomers are isomers that differ specifically at the anomeric carbon, forming alpha and beta forms when cyclic sugars interconvert in solution, a process called mutrotation. Understanding these nuanced structural differences is critical for comprehending how enzymes specifically interact with various carbohydrates and their roles in complex biological pathways like glycolysis, glycogenesis, and gluconeogenesis, which regulate glucose levels and energy supply in the body. Now, for some hard-level questions. First, explain why sucrose is non-reducing while maltose is reducing. Second, differentiate between alpha and beta glycosidic bonds and their human digestibility. Third, what are epimers, giving an example involving glucose? Fourth, describe mutrotation and the isomers involved. Fifth, outline the roles of glycolysis and glycogenesis. Sixth, what functional group defines an aldose versus a ketose? And seventh, if a carbohydrate has N chiral centers, how many stereoisomers are possible? Think deeply about these before moving on. You've made it to the hardest level. Prepare to delve into the most intricate details of carbohydrates, pushing your understanding to competitive depths. Beyond simple classifications, carbohydrates exhibit immense structural diversity. Oligosaccharides, with 3 to 10 sugar units, are crucial for cell recognition, like blood group antigens. Homopolysaccharides, made of one type of monosaccharide, include starch and glycogen for energy storage, varying in branching patterns, cellulose for plant structure, with its strong beta linkages, and chitin, a structural component of fungi and arthropods. Heteropolysaccharides, composed of multiple sugar types, are even more complex. Glycosaminoglycans, or GAGs, like hyaluronic acid and heparin, are vital components of the extracellular matrix, offering lubrication and signaling. Peptidoglycan, a unique heteropolymer, forms the rigid cell walls of bacteria, a key target for antibiotics. This intricate variety underscores their diverse biological roles. Carbohydrates are not just free sugars, they often combine with other biomolecules to form glycoconjugates, which are pivotal in cell recognition and signaling. Glycoproteins are proteins with attached oligosaccharide chains, playing roles in cell adhesion, immune response, and as hormone receptors. Their synthesis involves precise enzymatic steps in the air and Golgi. Glycolipids are lipids with sugar chains, primarily found on the outer surface of cell membranes, crucial for cell recognition and signal transduction, forming part of the protective glycocalyx. Proteoglycans are highly glycosylated proteins with massive GAG chains, essential for the structure and hydration of connective tissues. These complex structures enable cells to communicate, recognize each other, and respond to their environment, forming a sophisticated biological language. The dynamic interplay of carbohydrate synthesis and degradation is controlled by specific enzymes. Glycosyltransferases are the architects, adding monosaccharides to build complex carbohydrate structures, using activated sugar donors like UDP glucose. They are highly specific, ensuring correct linkages. On the other hand, glycosidases, or hydrolases, are the demolition crew, breaking down glycosidic bonds. Their specificity for alpha or beta linkages and particular monosaccharides is critical. For instance, amylase digests starch, lactase breaks down lactose, but humans lack cellulase to digest cellulose. Anabolic pathways like glycogenesis involve enzymes like glycogen synthase, while catabolic pathways such as glycogen lysis utilize enzymes like glycogen phosphorylase. These enzymatic mechanisms are tightly regulated, ensuring precise control over carbohydrate metabolism and maintaining cellular homeostasis. The clinical impact of carbohydrate metabolism is profound. Diabetes mellitus, a global health crisis, results from impaired glucose regulation, either due to insufficient insulin or insulin resistance. Lactose intolerance, a common digestive issue, stems from lactase deficiency, preventing proper lactose digestion. Genetic disorders like glycogen storage diseases, or GSDs, involve defects in enzymes responsible for glycogen synthesis or breakdown, leading to abnormal glycogen accumulation or depletion with severe consequences. Mucopolysaccharidoses, or MPS, are lysosomal storage diseases where defects in GAG-degrading enzymes cause their accumulation. Furthermore, bacterial virulence often relies on carbohydrate capsules or cell wall components like peptidoglycan and lipopolysaccharides, which help them evade host immunity. Understanding these molecular underpinnings is crucial for diagnosis and treatment. Alright, here are the first 5 hardest level questions. 1. Compare and contrast starch, glycogen, and cellulose's structure and roles. 2. Describe the composition and functions of glycoproteins and glycolipids in cell recognition and immunity. 3. Explain the roles of glycosyltransferases and glycosidases. 4. Discuss the molecular basis and symptoms of lactose intolerance. And 5. How do alpha-1, 4 and alpha-1, 6 linkages contribute to the distinct properties of amylose and amylopectin? Pause and challenge yourself. Continuing with the hardest level, here are questions 6 to 10. 6. Elaborate on the significance of the glycocalyx. 7. How would glycogen phosphorylase deficiency impact glucose homeostasis? 8. Differentiate homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides with examples. 9. How does peptidoglycan contribute to bacterial cell walls and antibiotic action? And 10. Discuss the importance of DIS sugars in biology and why L sugars are rare. These questions demand a comprehensive understanding of the topic. You've just completed an intense exploration of carbohydrates, from basic definitions to advanced clinical implications. Mastering these concepts is crucial for your NEET success. For more such in-depth educational content, practice questions, and personalized learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous updates and expert guidance. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing towards your dreams with Synapse.